All right, well, thank you very much to 1 Million Cups for letting me speak today about my business and my mission. My name is Frank Cohen. I'm the CEO and founder of DJFC Audio. My slogan is Innovate Your Abilities, and that's a central goal I have with my company about innovation. That will make more sense as I go through the presentation. A little about myself. Like I said, my name is Frank Cohen. I'm a professional music producer and audio engineer. I'm the published author of a novel I wrote called Buying Lost Time. I'm a professional DJ, enthusiast of all elements of creativity and innovation, and I'm an autism and special needs advocate. What does my company, DJFC Audio, do? We create audio sample packs. I'll explain what that is in a second. We help artists and innovators in the community work together and help work on shared projects and help connect easier. We provide an online marketplace for inventors and entrepreneurs of all levels, right now specifically in the audio field, but is going to it's going to go further. Production of professionally used audio engineering and sound design products. I'll go into that. That's what the sample packs are, and more. I'll go into that in a second, because I'm sure a lot of you are wondering what that is. What is an audio sample pack? An audio sample pack is currently the primary type of product sold at DJFC Audio. Although there are new types of products on the way, and products of all types are accepted. An audio sample pack is what many different types of people who work in the audio production field use as a tool in their work. To be more specific, someone who may be working in the film score industry, they might be making a soundtrack for a movie, some of the best sound effects. Think of movies you really like the music from that made an impact, the sound effects and the music alike. They might need certain instruments, an orchestra, a sound effect they want that's engineered to entice an emotion or a certain feeling based on the movie or scene. They would need a sample pack unless they were going to record each sound, go find the sound of a gong or go find the sound of a timpani and go around looking for all those places. Or they could find what's called an audio sample pack, which are professionally mixed, engineered, and licensed royalty-free sounds that they can then use for their projects and arrange and mix how they would like. This doesn't just apply to film scores and people doing stuff for film. It applies to music producers who are making instrumentals for artists like singers or rappers. They need instrumentals too. And a lot of times you'll have an engineer, an audio engineer, and a producer working to create that sound on a shared project. These sounds can be anything from a background sound effect, it could be ambience, waves, sound of the wind blowing, recorded with a microphone, to a complex synthesized instrument created using audio engineering technology to make all types of amazing sounds. With the technology that's available in synthesis and sound design, audio engineering, the possibilities are limitless in what you can create. The DJFC Audio mission and the purpose this company was created. The philosophy that allowing people to grow and profit in a healthy, positive way with a low financial barrier of entry creates an exceptionally better environment of business and community for everyone. Allowing creators and artists to grow their business and work by selling and working with a network of artists, allowing for an additional path to growth, other than trying to rely on an audience finding their work while competing against companies with very high budgets. Commonly we see in the entertainment industry, not just music, but all types of entertainment products, the barrier of entry is very difficult. A lot of times people with very big budgets, major record labels, major companies, they'll flood the market with marketing, and they'll put the person they want to promote, their face will be everywhere. They'll be on the radio. There's a lot of media that they make it very hard for people who don't work with them to get their face on. And now with the internet and a lot of modern technology, it is more accessible and it is better for everyone in the independent artist world, but it still comes with challenges. a lot of times it is very hard as an artist, and I've talked to many artists, as an artist myself, I've felt this, that it's very difficult to convince an audience of people who you might want to listen to your music that you should listen to their music instead of someone they usually listen to. That's a very hard thing to sell, especially someone who's touring or a person who's on TV. That's, it's a very hard sell, and it creates a barrier in classes when it comes to the entertainment industry, where you either have to be making a lot or making very little and hope you make it a lot. So that's not necessarily good. It creates an unhealthy and very risk-oriented industry. And by providing a place where people can sell tools to their art to other artists, and they can make an additional source of income, this allows for more of a stable and sustainable industry for creators and business owners of all types. Overall, a world that welcomes innovation and rewards creative growth that benefits the world positively. This is one of the central goals of DJFC Audio, and why we say innovate your abilities is the slogan. We want people to innovate and work on their abilities. Everyone has these amazing abilities, amazing traits that they can innovate with themselves, they can harness and use for positive change. And it's business is difficult. It requires risk, it requires entry cost. And if we can make this more accessible and less of a risk to people, there's no limit to how far innovation can go. How does DJFC Audio go about doing this? On the DJFC Audio website, which is djfcaudio.com, there's a section titled Sample Pack Submission Info. This is where creators can send a message describing their product and work. After a message is sent, there will be a reply from DJFC Audio on how we can move forward and discuss a good deal for both parties. DJFC Audio does not buy out the rights to an artist's work. This is very important. To make money on it later. Instead, an agreement will be worked out where DJFC Audio will receive a small commission that both parties are comfortable with from the sales made on the DJFC Audio platform. So a creator won't be selling out the rights to their work. They will still own their work. We will only take a small commission from hosting their product, but they will still own their own product and everything. They can take it off and put it on as much as they want. And the artist maintains the rights, the credit, and the control over their work. That is very important and very uncommon in the industry, which can become very dangerous for young business owners, new business owners, whatever it may be, who feel like they have to sell out to get somewhere, and that's not a good message that we should be sending. And so that's how we do it. We would put their product up, and we would help them host it. This business model allows DJFC Audio to grow with the artist, not just financially, but this provides a method for creators to grow within the artist community, building their fan base and people who respect their work, while also being able to make money in the process, all while remaining independent and not having to feel like they need to sign their work away to a bigger company to achieve their goals. This is a very, very important concept. I am under the personal philosophy and belief that all artists' products and all work in the entertainment industry, before anyone can get any fans of their own, it will always start in the artist community. Before an artist, a singer, whatever it may be, will get other people to appreciate their work, I think it should always start from other artists. I think that's the easiest and most direct route to building up a fan base, is starting with artists themselves appreciating your work, and a mutual appreciation. Maybe it's a mutual thing where you check out their work and they check out yours. There is a lot of mutual growth in that method, and then your name will start to grow. And this is very important also because people can remain independent, and that is very good to have control over what you created. This is the mission of DJFC Audio. Thank you very much for listening. My website is djfcaudio.com, and I hope that any artists out there or people who want to promote their work will reach out, and we would be glad to have you. It's 100% free to join and get in contact, and I look forward to seeing what people think. So I appreciate it, and thank you very much. I will open the floor to questions now.
Thanks, Frank. Questions?
I have a question. So from the buyer's perspective, so they go to DJFC Audio and they want to buy the sound pack, okay? So what happens with, so then you take sort of a payment on the back end there, that's fine. So when somebody buys that, is there a protection for that artist then? Is there a licensing agreement or something? How does that work?
Yes, so that's very important. That's very good you brought it up, the licensing. So on my website, there is a section that will discuss all the licensing. So what we do right now is we don't take anything that isn't royalty free. So right now you cannot sell work that you are trying to copyright and get other people to then pay you a subscription to use. Right now we're selling specifically people who want to sell maybe a sound they made that they liked with their name on it, with the rights. They get rights to sell it, but they're going to be selling it royalty free so other artists can use their work as a tool. They might be able to use it to promote their music. You know, they might not put their music up. They might put some sounds they used in their music that they did in a specific way that's now promoting a new album or song they intend to release. So that's a very good question.
Always a lot of demand for sonic branding, right? A lot of companies want their jingles, right? And that is, I believe, one of the major markets for you. So, do you plan to go in there as well? Do you plan to explore that section?
So in terms of marketing, that's a great point. You know, film isn't always a big cinematic movie. It could be as simple as commercials. It could be as simple as advertisements. That's 100% a good market and a quite untapped market, I will say as well. It's not necessarily completely untapped, but it's very commonly looked over, the commercial market. And that is 100% a good way for all artists to make an income. It doesn't have to be something giant and spectacular. It could be something as simple as we want to sell to an elevator company who wants to put elevator music. It could be as simple as business. It could be whatever anyone wants it to be, how big anyone wants it to be. I mean, there's markets for everyone. It's just which market do you want to focus on? And it's perfectly fine to focus on any of them. That's a great question as well. Thank you.
So how are you looking to connect with other artists, and how are you looking to connect with businesses to help sell the material?
So that's a very good question as well. How do we plan to get reach? And that's a very good point. A lot of artists are, I see on social media, on everywhere, artists naturally want to grow. That's the point of being an artist, the point of being an innovator. They want someone to see them as well. And historically, people are not great at doing that. It's not necessarily a bad on people thing, but there's a lot of artists out there. There's a lot of choices. And, like I said, with the bigger marketing budgets from certain, maybe record labels, it's hard to know who to choose. So in terms of reaching other artists and other businesses who might want to be buying from the artists on my platform, well, that is a very good point in method. I am building up a social media following. I have DJFC Audio official pages on all social media. I do a lot of contests that are free to join, a lot of promotions where people can upload their work, they can get prizes. There's a lot of content I do that's very interactive with the artist community itself to promote people trying to build an artist first, an independent artist business and industry that works, which we are heading towards with all the new technology, with the internet. It's very accessible in the modern day for it to happen. It's kind of just waiting to be picked up. And artists, they want to be heard. That's, if they're trying to promote their music, if they're trying to promote their art, they want to be heard. And, it honestly, it sounds simple, it sounds obvious, but just listening sometimes makes the difference. Thank you.
Have you worked with audio engineering schools and film schools? Because a lot of students there, they have to make short films and work with other students and professional in that space, and this could be a really good resource for them.
That's a good point as well. I'm currently trying to get into some school programs, maybe integrate some things for students to use the samples, maybe make their own. There is some legal things I have to make sure of. Like a lot of times schools have certain barriers or regulations on having students monetize something or make money off of it, whatever it is. But there's a lot of ways I'm looking into to get people involved, at a school level, because that is true. Film students, art programs, they could definitely benefit from this. So that's a good point as well.
Can you talk more about, like, how long have you been doing this, and, like, do you have a sense of, like, your user base right now?
So currently, about 2 weeks ago was the 1-year anniversary of the company starting. It's a little over 1 year old right now. I have about 500, a little under 500 clients currently who.
That's really good.
Yeah, thank you, and all over the world too. Like I said, I do a lot of it's an internet following. So I have people from many different countries, a lot of Europeans, a lot of people all over the world, and people like the idea. And it's not necessarily because I'm just good at marketing. It's because I think people really want this idea to work, because it really benefits people in a good way that people want to see.
So we see this type of idea in other creative spaces. For example, like graphic design with like icons and pods and digital assets. There's a lot of similar
Yes.
websites like this. Are there similar communities like what you're creating here?
So for the audio world, there is sort of similar things to like stock images like you're talking about, but in the audio world, very few sample pack companies I've noticed have really done it like this, where they give the artist credit. I noticed there's a lot of buyouts where they'll buy from one person. They won't put their name on it, who made it. They'll put it as their own product. Then they'll buy it again once they need another product, or sometimes they'll have other people and professional engineers make the samples, but commonly it's very, very strict and controlled. There's companies that will you have to have a record label, you have to have an agent, and that can be very restricting to a lot of people who are very good artists, but they might have a full-time job because they can't, put it all away.
Have you heard of a community called OC Remix?
OC Remix. I feel like I've heard the name before.
Yeah, it's not, it's an art, like obviously audio, and they remix a lot of gaming music.
Okay.
It's a really large community that's been around for over 20 years. You might find customers in that
Yeah.
community, but also like seeing their growth and
Yeah.
their space might be inspired to see how you can grow more.
That's a great point. I'll definitely check into that. Thank you.
That's really cool what you're trying to build.
We appreciate that. Thank you. Have anyone else? Anyone?
I think as Yuri asked, how can we help you?
How can the community help me? Well, the thing is, with the community, I think the best way the community can help my business and have my business hopefully help the community is artists checking it out, giving it a chance. They might not like it. They might not want to try, but that doesn't mean they shouldn't give it a chance. They shouldn't at least try it. What I ask of the community is check it out. If it's not something for you, that is 100% fine. But I want everyone in the community to see if DJFC Audio really can help them innovate their abilities. And that is what I ask from the community.
I think I have a question for you.
Yes.
Is there any special genre of music that you prefer working with?
In terms of genres I prefer working with, I have a very wide variety of music I personally like and like to work with. We accept all genres, but honestly, there's no specific genre I'd prefer to work with more, because there's value in really anything. So that's yeah.
Is the best way to direct people to DJFC Audio? Is there any other means of accessing your business?
Well, there's the website is where all the information is. So it's djfcaudio.com. I mean, I have an email, a business email as well. It's also on the website. There's an About Us. There's a lot of information panels. DJFC Audio has a lot of social media pages as well. You can look up DJFC Audio Official, all the major social media platforms as well for more info. So that's more ways you can access. Yes?
If I'm not an artist, can I still reach out to you for jingles?
Yeah, you 100%. If you're not an artist and you're a buyer who might need a jingle for an advertisement, anything, that is 100% something you can reach out to us for. The email I usually work with is djfcaudio@gmail.com. And yes, 100% we do freelance work as well with professional. Yes, sir.
If you had to make one for 1 million cups, like what would it potentially sound like?
It would. Well, it's hard to. It's hard necessarily to say what it would sound like with words, but I could definitely say it would. I would work with who's ever running the project to figure out what they want the most, and that's 100% something that could be done.
And tap them out with a spoon.
That could be done.
And the sound of the cash register.
I'm sure we have this. I'm sure we have the sound somewhere.
Put in a little grinder of beans.
That works. That's what we do. That's what we do. We'll figure it out. So. Yeah, we do. We also do freelance work, professional production engineering. So, we don't just host the sounds. We also do freelance as well. So that 100% be something you can hire the company for.
Well, I find that musicians are almost like, I hate to call it a cult, but they're like a slice of the world there where they all interact with each other and support each other. So I made a list of four of them that I'm going to let know about your platform.
Perfect. I appreciate that. My goal is to benefit the independent artist community and honestly try to make the artist industry something that's livable and something that is independent, because in the modern world there's very little reason why an artist should have to sell their rights to their songs and sell out a lot of rights to themselves to get a platform. There's very little reason that should still be around. I think it's an outdated way of doing business, and I think we would have a lot better art, we would have a lot more innovation if a free market system was a lot more promoted to people. And we'd have a lot more of a system where artists would be valued based on their art versus who decided to put them where. That's the world I want to strive for. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, not a comment, not a question, more of a comment, but I think that's something that's a real strength of your business is sort of positioning yourself as a force that counterbalances, what is, obviously greedy and unfair. So it's got, aside from music, which is good for its own sake, that's what this David versus Goliath narrative.
Thank you. And, it's great to hope for a better world without, a way to do it. But the thing about my company that I made sure is we have a way to do it that isn't directly challenging something that how things are done. That could be very messy. It could be very problematic. My company simply provides an alternative way to make money and grow yourself. Then the way that still works, you wouldn't be selling full songs like you would on Spotify for people to go listen to. You'd be selling tools and parts of songs that you made to other artists to grow your brand. It is simply an alternate and an additional way to grow your brand as an artist instead of the one way there is right now. And I think this is a great thing. It doesn't have to be just producers, engineers. If you're a drummer, you play the drums, make a couple drum loops people could use, put them on the website. If anyone buys them, they can put them in their songs. You're a guitarist, same thing. Any instrument player, any singer. You could sell freelance work. There's a lot of things in that nature that people could create as an artist and sell the tools of, sell the parts of, and still be able to maintain making their own songs as well. It's not a one or the other thing. You could do both.
I do have an idea, or a comment you can say. So you see that there are so many courses, and courses are something that people are actively looking for.
Yes.
Right. Now, given the nature of your business, for somebody who's just starting out, these are probably too many jargons, too many words, right? So if you just launched, maybe like a series of pre-recorded and a few
Yeah.
live sessions, I probably think that it would help you build that community and bring in a lot of, new artists
Yeah.
under your umbrella
Yes.
very quickly.
That's good as well, yeah.
So,
And that's, of course, is a good idea, because currently, a lot of artists I approach with the idea, it's not something that's usual to them. I have to explain it to them, 'cause it's not something really people have seen before in the way that I'm doing it. So a lot of times I will help them establish it and help them through what the idea is. A lot of times if it's a new idea, it seems like, oh, is this safe? And then, once I establish my credibility, I have to explain how the idea works, because it's a new idea that the world is not necessarily accustomed to in this way yet. And a lot of them, they end up liking it, and I'll help them do it. Sometimes I'll even help them make the products with them. If it's something in my realm, I'll work on it with them. I'll work on helping them market it as well, because that markets my business as well. When they market themselves on my company, that's marketing myself as well. And so I have stake in the game to help them. I have a reason to help them, not just because I want to, but because that will grow my business as well. And that is why it's 100% free to join. It's free to sign up and get in contact and make your own account. And that's the purpose. I want to lower the barrier of entry to only how good your art is. Not how much of a following you have, how much money you might have. It's simply, are you good at what you do? And that's my goal.
Any more questions?
Yes, sir.
I missed most of it, sorry.
You're good.
Let's connect afterward.
Sounds good.
One-on-one.
Appreciate it.
And you have some business cards over there.
I do have some business cards over by the coffee. So, perfect. Thank you.
Wonderful. So Frank, thanks very much.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
There's a gift for you.
Thank you.
Haircut thermos.
I appreciate it.
Looking forward to following the progress over time.
Thank you very much.
Big vision.
Good job.
Thank you.
Good job.